reading from the Holy Gospel according to John, chapter 8, verses 21 to 30. Passage taken from the Message version of the Bible. Then he went over the same ground again. I'm leaving and you're going to look for me. But you're missing God in this and are headed for a dead end. There is no way you can come with me. The Jews said, "So is he going to kill himself? Is that what he means by you can't come with me?" Jesus said, "You're tied down to the mundane. I'm in touch with what is beyond your horizons. You live in terms of what you see and touch. I'm living on other terms. I told you that you were missing God in all this. You're at a dead end. If you won't believe I am who I say I am, you're at a dead end of sins. You're missing God in your lives." They said to him, "Just who are you anyway?" Jesus said, "What I've said from the start. I have so many things to say that concern you, judgments to make that affect you. But if you don't accept the trustworthiness of the one who commanded my words and acts, none of it matters. That is who you are questioning, not me, but the one who sent me." They still didn't get it, didn't realize that he was referring to the Father. So Jesus tried again. "When you raise up the Son of Man, then you will know who I am, that I'm not making this up, but speaking only what the Father taught me. The one who sent me stays with me. He doesn't abandon me. He sees how much joy I take in pleasing him." When he put it in these terms, many people decided to believe. The Gospel of the Lord.
Reflections on the Gospel according to John chapter 8, verses 21 to 30. The rebellion of Israel in the desert is a constant theme that the church takes up for the liturgical reflections. Israelites in the desert, heading for the promised land, that is the entire story of Exodus, has so much in common with the life of the church in the world. Israel wanted freedom from slavery, but the path that led to freedom involved risks and troubles. Indeed, liberation is not a bed of roses. Like the people of Israel in the desert, we, the church, lives in the world, moving towards the promise of God, towards the freedom and salvation. But like the Israelites of the Old Testament, we are not willing to go through pains and sufferings. We are tempted to correct the plans of God. We want to tell Him how He should free us, how He should heal us and save us. Being from this world, being from below, implied being under the power of sin. For the author of the Gospel today, the world to which he referred was the society in which he lived, that was distorted and clouded by sin. Until people could see through their illusions and detach themselves from the power of their various groupings, they would remain blinded by the sin. A way out of their blindness was to listen to Jesus. Until people acknowledged the identity of Jesus as God and were prepared to surrender to Him in faith, they would die in their sins. But instead, if they surrendered to Him in faith, they would live for eternity in the embrace of God. The lifting up of the Son of Man referred to Jesus being lifted up on the cross. Jesus would show to the world the heart of God and the depth of God's commitment to save. People might not listen to Him now, but His death and resurrection were still to happen. In the light of them, He hoped people would finally come to realize the truth of His divine reality. Jesus had revealed why He was able to face His threatening death with equanimity. To fail to recognize who Jesus is and where he came from is to remain in darkness, the darkness of sin, ignorance, and unbelief. But if we look at Jesus and listen to his word of life and truth, then we will find the way to lasting peace and joy with God. Our time here in this present world is very limited and short, but how we live it today has consequences not only for the present moment but for our eternal destiny as well. Which direction is your life headed right now?